So you need a compact fixed blade and you got $100 to spend. I want to help you make that decision. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. I am your host, Aaron. And so the knives that I want to share with you today are these belt knives, this belt knife concept, which is a compact fixed blade that you can carry on your belt or possibly on like a shoulder strap all the time, everywhere you go when you're out in the outdoors enjoying adventures. I would not rate these as survival knives or large choppers or machetes. So this kind of size range usually for me, and you know, this isn't like a make or break rule, but just so you guys get a little bit of the concept of what we're talking about today, is a fixed blade that's usually no smaller than 4 inches in blade length and no larger than about 6 inches in blade length. Usually under 12 ounces. I try and keep it, you know, lightweight, as thin as possible when the opportunity presents itself, and is something again that I can take with me everywhere. It's not heavy, it's not thick, it's going to be a great slicer. It's great for bushcraft, whittling, carving, food prep, you know, those type of things. And so though probably any one of these knives you could absolutely survive with, they wouldn't be rated as survival knives. They're not good at chopping, they're not really good at batoning. They're designed for slicing, cutting, and that type of task, really what knives were originally intended for. So in this video, I'm just going to break down the ones that have really stood out to me, that when you have $100 to spend, you know, we did a 50, if you have $50 or less to spend. This one is now, well, what if you have a little bit more? You have a little bit more money, you want a little bit better blade, you want a little bit better sheath options, you know, those type of things, steel to work with, but you don't want to go really over about $100. These blades have stood out to me for years and are some blades that I could totally recommend to you. Now, we will have links in the description below over to Amazon. Blade HQ really helps me out when you guys use those hyperlinks, so if any particular blade pops out to you in this list, just click the link in the description below. It'll take you over there, help you out. You'll see the list, and if you purchase through those links, helps me get out here, make content just like this for you guys. So it's a win-win for both of us when you guys use those hyperlinks. And sometimes these blades fluctuate. Sometimes you can get them for screaming deals, like way less than $100. Sometimes they'll go a little bit over $100, but with that concept of keeping it right at about $100, and prices, you know, fluctuate and change over time. But in that idea, let's go ahead and jump to it and see what these blades can do, and the ones that have stood out to me for years in this compact fixed blade size. All right, first up on the list today is the Cold Steel Master Hunter. Now, I picked up the version that they released a few years ago, now discontinued. They don't have it in black anymore. This CPM 3V steel version. Now they only offer it in satin, so I have the blacked out discontinued version. But Ethan Becker said that this was one of the best designed knives of all time, and I tend to agree with him. The man knows what he's talking about, and I've had the pleasure of getting to know him at and just talk with him a little bit for 10 minutes at SHOT Show a few years ago. Really nice guy. And he absolutely knows his stuff, and the reason for that is because when it comes to this concept of a belt knife, this thing hits basically everything you would want to be looking for. It's going to come in rather lightweight at about 6 ounces, so that's really nice and lightweight. You have a 90-degree spine, so it's going to throw sparks, it's going to scrape. Full flat grind, so that means it's going to be a great slicer. The slicing capability of this knife is fantastic. It starts out really stout at 0.19, and then tapers down to a really precise tip. That would be the only weakness, I would say, is that the tip is pretty precise. You know, if you were doing something pretty stupid, you know, trying to pry or something, you could snap and break that. I've heard that supposedly maybe the VG1 version in Sami is a little bit thicker. Maybe, don't take my word for that. I've just kind of heard people maybe comment on that. It is a full tang all the way through, Craton rubberized handle. That is just a stick, you know, design, broom handle kind of idea behind it, which is perfect, which means you can grip it in every different direction. It's not going to get awkward or uncomfortable for you when you're gripping the knife. Really nice guard there, so you're not going to accidentally slide up and hurt yourself. The precision and feel of the knife is just fantastic. Lanyard hole back there. You could hold it in bushcraft grips all day. And if you've ever owned a Cold Steel, you know, I mean, just razor sharp, great relief edge, really massive belly. So again, like hunting, food prep, again, smaller compact tasks, gonna work great for that. A little bit over 4 inches on the blade length. It is ambidextrous on the sheath. It comes with their Securex, so this nylon strap can go on either side. Lots of different lashing options there. Now, the stainless steel Sami VG1 that one's going to go for about 90 is what I see. The CPM 3V will go between 100 and like 120. So it just really depends on, you know, who, what, when, where, why. But that either one is a great steel. The VG1 is very rust resistant and will hold an edge for a very long period of time. It will be rather tough to resharpen in the field. What I have found is that the 3V is a little easier to resharpen in the field. It is technically a high carbon, so it may rust on you, but it takes a long time for it to rust on you. And is, you could argue, possibly a little tougher and more durable in like lateral strength and that type of thing. That's arguable, but that's kind of what I've seen. So it just kind of depends on price and what you're willing to pay and what you're looking for, but both are going to be great for that belt carry idea. Next up, we have the Mora Garberg in Sandvik 14C28N and now in their carbon steel. This will float anywhere between $70 and $100, just depends on who, what, when, where, why. Leather sheath, polymer sheath. They've really upgraded some stuff and really, you know, put some attention to detail in recent years. Now they have an ambidextrous polymer sheath that the cheaper versions will come with this added attachment that is MOLLE compatible and just gives you more lashing options. You can carry it horizontal, vertical, lots of different ways you can carry this design. They do have a leather that's a very high quality option as well. So the sheath carry is great. What is different about this is that, you know, it's a full tang. Most Moras are not, they're partial tangs. It is going to be 1/8 of an inch thick, so it's going to be a little bit thinner than the other ones that we're looking at here today. A little over 4 inches in blade length. Scandi grind on both of these guys. Fantastic Scandi grind. 90-degree spine on both of them, and really ergonomic. Arguably the most ergonomic handles on the table that we're looking at here, the background that we're looking at today. Fills out my large size hands well. You can see that exposed tang out the back there. But you can hold this in every different grip. It's going to feel great for hours on end. And so that's really what these are, you know, designed for, is the bushcraft layout, you know, triggers, traps, notches, feather sticks. These are going to be mind-blowing. The edge is phenomenal on it. They won't be quite as good food processors if you're looking to do a lot of food prep with these and you know, processing game, that type of thing. They're not, the grind is not ideal for that. It's much more for woods craft, and these are amazing woods craft knives. If you want to do lots and lots of woods craft and not necessarily looking for a general utility knife, these are epic and arguably the best that we're going to be looking at today, just because of their grind angles. And then you can just pick, if you're in a high humid environment, the Sandvik 14C28N is great. If you don't really mind that, or you just like working with high carbon steels a little bit better, you want to be able to, you know, strike flint, you know, and cause, you know, sparks that way, then go with the carbon steel version. But both are fantastic, and both are amazing belt knives. They're going to be pretty lightweight too, I believe. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think they're about 7 ounces, if I remember. But wow, do these rock when it comes to bushcraft tasks and bush tasks. All right, man, I love this blade. It's so sick. I love it. I love it. We're looking here at the Gerber Gator Premium Fixed Blade. Now, it's going to come with a leather sheath that is USA made. Everything's USA made on this one. You know, half of these we're looking at, these are, if I forgot to mention, these are made in Sweden. The Moras, this one is USA steel on the CPM, and then put together in Taiwan, and then the Japanese VG1, and then put together in Taiwan. So USA made, first USA made knife we're looking at. It is a full tang all the way through. Gator grip, which is amazing. If you've never held a Gator grip knife, Gerber does a great job with it. Really giving you some nice texturing. Feels fantastic. This all lower part is rubberized. This up here is like a hardened polymer, but you can see kind of looks like gator skin. Fills out my hand with plenty of room to spare. That little hump does not get in the way. It's very contoured. Not quite as bushcrafty. I mean, I can absolutely like get reverse chest lever grips without any sort of pain. No hot spots, but it's just not quite as ergonomic as these guys over here, just because it has that one. It's designed to be held in like a hammer grip more than anything. Really nice bolster there on that stainless steel bolster. S30V steel. Really good steel. So it's a stainless steel. So it's going to really fight against rust. So if you're doing a lot of food prep, you're doing a lot of hunting, you know, game processing, or you're just in high humid environments, it's going to really fight against that. Great relief edge, high saber grind. Really done well. No 90-degree spine on it, so it's not really a bushcraft knife. Again, it's more just a general camp, utility, hunting. It's about 3.75 actual cutting edge, which is a little small. It's the smallest that we were looking at today. I would have liked to have it a little bit longer, but with the handle ergonomics and just the overall profile, it does a really good job on the blade. It's about 0.16, if I remember correctly, on the thickness. And the S30V, again, great steel. Good leather USA made sheath, and really elegant piece, really good looking blade that's going to really perform well for those belt, tasks of around the campsite. Not a survival knife, but carving, whittling, all the stuff we've been talking about, the stuff you're seeing in these videos. It's a great companion blade to pair with other bigger tools, and you're going to get USA quality. You're getting that S30V, and you're just getting a cool, really ergonomic, fun knife to use. They do offer this with a gut hook as well, so if you're really into hunting, this might be an option to look at. Ooh yeah, final one here is the ESEE 4HM. This got rained on and I've yet to clean it up, so you can just kind of see what high carbon steel blades deal with. Got lots of rust on there, but pretty easy to clean off. What I love about this is, okay, USA made quality, ESEE knives. If you've never owned an ESEE, you're missing out, and this maybe should be the reason why you go get it. These things are awesome. Love it. Full flat grind, 4-inch cutting edge, 0.18 on the overall thickness, full tang, mind-blowing ergonomics, very close to the Moras over here. Very, very close. Micarta handle scales, but you're going to get that exposed tang versus just the full tang there. Awesome relief edge, 1095 steel, Rowan produced. I mean, it is a mind-blowing blade. And now, they used to come with just leather sheaths, and I'm definitely more of like a polymer Kydex guy. Comes with the Kydex sheath. Now, I did an aftermarket ESEE backing for about an extra $20. It will come with a belt clip that's ambidextrous, so it's totally an ambidextrous blade. But wow, is this just a great overall knife. Weighing in at about 7.5 ounces. And just a great overall tool, and get up real close to that edge. No guard, so some people love it, some people won't. No choil to mess around with. That was always a hang up of mine with the ESEE 4, is that a knife of this size doesn't need a dedicated choil, in my opinion. Just my opinion, but I'd rather have either just a dedicated close cut up like this has, or a guard. It just kind of gives you this extra step you always have to play around with a knife of this size. Larger knives, I love finger choils. So anyway, guys, now that they offer Kydex, they do have leather as well. You can usually get them about $95. I've found them for about $95 to like $105, and we're gonna have lots of, again, links below. Check them out. Totally digging it, and is a fantastic option if you're looking for USA made and you're really wanting that kind of, not quite bushcraft, but overall like outdoor feel. Then that ESEE 4HM is an awesome option. All right, guys, I want to take a brief time out and kind of just change scenarios and scenery for this next one in these best belt knives for under $100. Now, all the ones that we've looked at today up until this point have been very bushcraft or camp oriented. There's no tactical combat, that type of feeling of a knife. Now, in our last video that we did in this series of best belt knives under $50, the Gerber strong arm is right there around $50 usually, and that thing is phenomenal. USA made, 420 high carbon, it's indestructible, great modular sheath, tons of options in that. So I was going to consider throwing in the SOG Seal Pup in this list, but when I contemplated between the two, I think I would go with the Gerber strong arm for almost every task. It's just a little bit stouter, it's got a little bit stronger, it's got more sheath options, and it usually comes in a little bit cheaper than the SOG Seal Pup. Not that the SOG Seal Pup and Seal Pup Elite aren't amazing knives, they are, but I think there's a better option when we're looking at over $50 but under $100, and it's the steel will Argonaut. Dudes and dudettes, this thing fits every criteria that we've been talking about today. This thing's gonna weigh about 9.5 ounces, but it has that more combat style feel. It has, top and bottom guards. It is full tang all the way through on that very large but very ergonomic handle. That's going to be a bigger handle than a SOG Seal Pup or a Gerber Strong Arm. AUS-8 steel that they did a great heat treat on, and it has a really good grind, 90-degree spine on it. It will throw sparks, so it has really nice clip there. Saber grind. The SOG Seal Pup has a hollow grind and is a little bit more compact, and it just isn't quite there for that like $70 price point that the SOG Seal Pup Elite is. This guy is going to be about the same price, about $65 to $75. They do have a couple blade shapes as well, including like a dagger shape and kind of a recurved larger belly shape. This thing is phenomenal. I love it. It's going to be about 6.5 inches overall blade length, so it's going to definitely be on the longer style and bigger than some of these other belt knives we've been carrying and talking about today. But again, coming in at under 10 ounces, really nimble, really lightweight. You could absolutely use it in a survival situation, camp task, or combat utility task, and it's going to come with a great polymer sheath. There are times where I'm like, should I sell this thing? You know, when we do some of our yearly sales, and I'm like, no way, man, this thing is so epic. And for that $70 price point, for a combat style knife, because again, we've been doing camp and bushcraft mostly of the knives you're seeing here, it takes the cake. It is an awesome option for stainless steel combat utility blade when you're looking at the best belt knives under 100 bucks. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this particular video where we've looked at these compact belt knives, compact fixed blades, and the ones that really stand out to me at that $100 or less, right around in their price point range. I want to thank you guys for coming over. I hope it has helped you out, make some wise decisions, seeing what's out there, and help you to get a blade that will be enjoyable for you and that you'll be able to use for years to come. I'd invite you to please subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. You know, we're throwing out videos like this every single week, making content like this, and just become part of the GT family. You current subscribers rock. Thank you so much for your continued support. You are amazing, and help make this channel go. Again, don't forget those hyperlinks that are offered below. Helps me out, helps you guys out, so it's a win-win for everyone involved. And check us out on Instagram, Facebook, social media. It's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects I'm working on, different ways to communicate with me. If you're not getting certain answers answered in the comments below, or you have a different type of answer, or want to send photos, that type of stuff, that's a great way to do that on Instagram and Facebook as well. And guys, finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.